All right, to the Ruta Cabo do Mundo. So that's route to the top of the world. And not to be outdone, after this we're going to the Ruta de Cabo de Mundo dos. Route to the top of the world 2. There's two, this is called a mirador. So a mirador is vista. We would say vista. So this is Galicia. Notice, there's some pictures from earlier in our trip from Madrid. I think, this many trees is quite a thing in Madrid. Here, no, this is Galicia. This is the green part of Spain. And it looks more, I've not been to Ireland, but supposedly it looks similar to Ireland. Look at the moss and stuff. The people of Galicia are actually related to the Celts. There's a common things here. In fact, in the hotel we're staying at, there is a Celtic symbol on their dishware, and I will show that. Hey, end of the trail already. Good thing, because it's the Galician sunshine is out today, also called rain. Oddly, we left Florida, and usually there's a storm shows up when we leave. Well, some storm named Gilberto, changed directions in the middle of the Atlantic and came back and swung back and was going to arrive in this part of Europe, at least when I looked 3 days ago, was going to show up here today. So this, who knows, this may be part of that. And let me spin you around. All right, I was talking with some people over there. Look at this. Let me spin you around. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. Look at that. So I'll get my other camera out and get some 360s of this as well. So it did stop raining for a little bit. I think that's the break in the rain over there. Hopefully. So that is the River Minho, I think. Minho, which goes down to Ourense, where we took the train to. So this is amazing. This is why people come here. This is our Ribeira section. In fact, you can't quite see over there, but over here to our left, way down there, is a winery, it looks like. Yeah, see the vines going up in the stripes there? And there's cars going in, so it must be someplace in particular. Let me go upstairs. There's some stairs behind me. Well, that was worth the 10-minute drive. Let me put myself in the picture. Let's turn around. What do you think of this place?
Hello.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Are we on top of the world?
The view is spectacular.
So here we are at the Mirador Cabo do Mundo. So this is some stuff that's nearby, some of the stuff we saw from there. And there's the boat launch down there. All right, switching cameras. Here's a 360 of, that was the Minho River, right? Down there?
That's what you said.
Okay, Minho. M-I-N-H-O. So this is there's a place in Arizona that looks like this. That's called the Big Bend. And I think there's another mirador to the right there that will see a different view of this. And this is another similar looking thing. So we're in Galicia, Spain. Here in the northwestern part of Spain, the green section. And the rain, it's green, but that's because it rains. So one or the other. Even though my fair lady said the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain, which is much further south of here. And it doesn't actually fall there. The rain mainly. Okay, here we have the Pazo de Arxeriz Eco Museum. Notice there's a bit of a play on the Celtic cross there. The three little leaves. Oh, yeah, I like that. Because the Celts have a big influence here. And then, so this is a fort, and I'm just entering now, so I don't know who made the fort. But I did some research before I came to Spain, and I was watching somebody, listening to somebody. There are 10,000 castles in Spain. Now, castle is any sort of fortification, so not all of them are standing like Segovia is. Some of them are much older than Segovia. But if it's just a fortification, or what's left of a fortification, so this is more of the latter, what's left of a fortification. So we will see. But hopefully we don't get too moist. Oops, I said the M word. So on the way to the mirador of Cabo de Mundo, we passed a sign for Pazo de Arxeriz, which, while we were at the mirador, I looked it up, and it looked very interesting. So this place where we're at, the Pazo de Arxeriz, is a 17th century manor turned ethnographic museum in Galicia's Ribeira Sacra. This is the whole region that we're in. And it offers a rich blend of history, archaeology, and cultural heritage. So even though the manor is from the 17th century, there are on the sites other things as well. The Ethnographic Museum, so in the museum there are exhibits on Romanesque architecture, traditional crafts like basketry and pottery, and what I found interesting was the local tradition of how they fish. They would fish in various ways in the river itself, channeling the fish that they wanted, because each fish has a different way of swimming, and they would catch those fish using various troughs and stuff. Additionally, there's a whole section on viticulture, or winemaking, which we all appreciate. And then on top of all of that, which is interesting in its own, there is also what is called a castro, an Iron Age hill fort within the estate, and this dates back to pre-Roman eras. So before the Romans got to this area and searched for gold and made grapes and put some roads in, was this other culture, and this is the remnants of that fort, which we will see shortly in the video. All right, here's some. So they used to have several types of fish: salmon, trout. These are the baskets they used to catch them with. The art of fishing. So it looks like they formed some barriers in the water to concentrate the fish. All right, we have gone outside. We're going to take the itinerary or the tour. Oh, right. I think I should have been paying more attention. Hey, this area was. She mentioned that this is pre-Roman. Hey, look at the shields on the wall there. Get a better view of that. So this is pre-Roman. That's not, but that's still pretty old. Those are pretty neat. So pre-Roman. So this is thousands of years old. So I should have been paying attention. Like what is a patho? Looks like a Roman column there. There's a bunch of rocks that they dug up. Let me see, these are PTS. So this is the original piece. These are the pieces of the original things. Quite amazing. thousands of years old. And here they are, excavated in 2013. So she said in 2013 and 2017 they did 2 major digs, and then they rebuilt some things to give an idea of what things look like. So some of the stuff is recreations and all. But these look like, yeah, these are stones for grinding wheat and bread and stuff. They didn't have any corn yet because oh, there's some wine down there, some grapes. All right, so this is a recreation of the kitchen area. So here's the stove, and she said this here goes up and down like a baby's thing. So they'd pull it down and up, sit down, and then you pull the table down, so it takes up less space. And people can't complain about your cooking because you won't let them leave. Hey, we have that picture there. Except it's painted. Oh, coffee grinder. All right, here's a relief map of the area. So there's the Lugo River with a little tiny boat in it. And we must be right there. All right, here we're in another room. We get to different vines, grape varietals, and a little thing to fertilize or pesticide. Oh, and let's make some moonshine. Alambique. This is to carry the grapes up and down. So this wine region is called the heroic wines because it's quite an effort to carry these things up and down these steep hills. And I understand it's a pretty good wine. I'm driving today, so I haven't actually tried much, or any. But notice those wine skins look like something in particular. I wonder what they're made out of. Pig squeal. All right, that's quite the wine barrel. So we're going to the Sala Carro, whatever that means, recreation of the castle and the actual castle. What?
Chinese wisteria.
All right, this thing in front of us is pretty typical of the area around. There's another one that's sturdier, but in pre-Roman times they would make these off the ground so the little varmints and other animals couldn't get to the grain and other stuff they're storing in there. So they're outsmarting the deer and stuff by putting it in there. All right, this is a recreation, Recreación Castrecha, which is the recreation of the the fortifications or the castles that were here. So behind me are the actual ones. But when they did the dig, they decided to recreate them so people would know what they would look like when they were constructed. So there's the remains or ruins down there. So they've reconstructed one to look just like what the, not that anybody knew exactly what they look like, but so here they are. Fascinating. So that way they had a little way to get the water to come in and out. Okay, let's go inside. You can see better than I can because the camera is adjusting for the light. This is quite fascinating. I guess we can come in here since this is this kind of looks like the place where we're staying. Loom. There's a cooking area. Got the skins on the wall. A little bit of a mill area. Wheat basket. There's some more milling instruments. And here we have the storage room. Oh, and more area up top there. If you can see it, there we go. Very nice. Homey. All right, now we're in the covered area, the living room. A broom. Don't think I'll go in there. There's a hole in the ground. Right now we're walking over to the actual Castro. So the recreation one is over there. And we walked across to this hilly area here. So we're going to go up and see what kind of view. Now, don't understand the whole story, but this was underwater because of some dam downstream. So I don't know. It's hard to believe because we're pretty high up. All right, see you at the top. All right, so don't step on that part. But this is the excavation area. This is the people who put those stones down, put them down 2,000 years ago because apparently they enjoyed the view. Amazing. Let's walk along the edge here. Wow, it goes on for quite some place. And there's the thing we saw from the top of the world, which must be over there somewhere. Wow. All right, I walked up a little further, and there's more things up here. And more things down here also. Wow. There's a bunch of them. Wow. All right, well, this is one of those places that we sort of just drove past on the way to the overlook. And hey, let's go see that. Everybody's into seeing old things. They look at me. So this is the Castro, or castle, in Galicia. Let me turn you around so you can see it. So that's quite interesting. What do you think? Call the realtor and look for a spot? Here's a fixer-upper.
They have the best real estate going up here.
Yeah. All right, here's a drone shot. So here's the excavation area from way up here. Quite a spectacular thing. I love these little things. So I was just reading on a sign over there. This dates from 3rd century to 1st century BC. So 2,300 years ago. Now shortly we'll be going to a city called Pamplona, which you may have heard of with the running of the bulls and stuff. But it just celebrated its 2100th anniversary. So I guess I'm not so old after all. Hey, there's a boat down there. Well, thank you again for traveling along with us to the Galicia region. We have a couple more videos in Galicia. One is on the Ribeira Sacra itself. We did some driving around. We visited some wineries intentionally and accidentally. We didn't have an accident, but watch that one for some details. And we'll have one on another parador we stayed in, Santa Esteve, which is overlooking the river, a spectacular place. And then finally we'll be in Santiago de Compostela, the crown jewel of Galicia, although there's more jewels in that crown in Galicia. So remember to like and subscribe, just so I know you're watching and you like it, and I'll continue doing similar things. Put some comments in when I get something terribly wrong or terribly right, or if you want more information. In the meantime, just like Don Quixote says, Don Quixote to Sancho Panza, he says, "Dame una me gusta," give me a thumbs up.